And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. And but over the years, it's constantly going on the internet, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd. Constantly be disrespectful, when all I ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all I ever did.
Floyd Mayweather has exposed the Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin sparring. Meanwhile, Frank Martin recently expressed his thoughts regarding his training partner, Ryan Garcia, who has chosen to bet against him in his upcoming title bout against Tank. Martin said, "He was cool, but I don't care what he says. I wouldn't get on and talk down. He went from Frank is going to win to Frank is going to. I bet $1 million against him." Martin, boasting an undefeated record of 18-0 with 12 knockouts, remarked on Ryan's shifting stance. Initially, Ryan expressed confidence in Martin's victory, but later reversed his position, even suggesting $1 million bet on Tank to win. This flip-flop is awkward, especially considering that Frank and Ryan share the same trainer, Derek James, and both train in Dallas. Ryan would have been wiser to remain neutral regarding the Tank versus Martin matchup. Martin said, "It's fake. Even when he says that, I still ain't going to down-talk him or bash his name. Let him lose his money." That tweet wasn't geared directly towards him, but he was a part of that. But it was bigger than just that. It's a lot. Ryan might be aligning himself with Tank Davis in hopes of securing a rematch. For Ryan, a showdown with Davis represents the most significant bout on the horizon. This comes after his surprising 12-round majority decision victory over WBC light welterweight champion Devin Haney. When Ryan makes his comeback to the ring, he is aiming for a major showdown. However, his immediate future is uncertain due to recent positive tests for the performance-enhancing drug ostarine. The New York State Athletic Commission still needs to convene to review and deliberate on Ryan's case. At 29 years old, Frank is widely considered the underdog in his matchup against the undefeated Tank Davis, who boasts an impressive 29-0 record with 27 knockouts. Despite being promoted by Errol Spence Jr., Martin's performance in his last bout raised some concerns. In July 2023, he had to stage a comeback to secure a 12-round unanimous decision victory over Artem Harutyunyan. Few believe he stands a chance against Davis. Continuing his comments about Ryan Garcia, changing his tune about him, Martin said, "That shit is fake with me. I don't f with people like that. That's fake. I don't care if it's promoting or building. That shit is fake. I'm not with all that. I'm the type of person I rock who I rock with, and that's why my circle is strong." If Ryan's goal is to remain on Tank Davis's favorable side to secure a significant payday, it makes sense why he would abruptly choose to oppose Martin in their June 15th bout. The potential earnings from a rematch with Tank are substantial, and Ryan needs to secure that lucrative opportunity before his career takes a downturn. Frank Martin further added, "There ain't no friends in this shit," was directed towards Ryan. "This boxing shit, they ain't your friend." And I get that. People change up. Considering the significant money at stake, especially the hefty sum Ryan can earn from a rematch with Tank Davis, it's no shock that he's not siding with Martin. It wouldn't be wise for Ryan to support Martin for Ryan and jeopardize his standing with Tank. Martin added, "People jump sides. You got people that doubt. You really do this shit by yourself, really. You got your solid team, but other than that, as a fighter, you gotta put yourself in the mindset that you are in it by yourself." Talking about whether his fight with Gervonta Davis brought all this out, Martin said, "It started before all this. It started with the Artem fight, and then it started with the fight that was supposed to happen with Shakur to this fight now. It's a lot of different sides, a lot of different conversations, and a lot of different things." It appears that Frank Martin is brimming with confidence as he anticipates stunning Gervonta Davis in their showdown. Martin is resolute in showcasing his skills in the upcoming match. Although Davis has downplayed Martin's potential due to his relatively late start in boxing, Martin took up the sport in his teenage years, while Davis began training. At the age of 7, Martin remains undeterred. Martin said, "I have been an underdog since I started." He recently secured a unanimous decision victory in a challenging 12-round bout against Artem Harutyunyan last July. His breakout moment came in 2022 with an impressive performance against Michel Rivera, establishing Martin as a promising talent in the sport. Martin added, "It is a blessing to get this type of opportunity and show the world what I am about. I appreciate Gervonta Davis for taking this fight. I believe they fucked up by taking this fight." Davis had a solitary fight in 2023, clinching a 7th-round knockout against Ryan Garcia. He strides into the June match with an impressive 3-fight knockout streak, commencing with his triumph over Rolando Raleigh Romero in May 2022. Simultaneously, Davis, widely regarded with merit among the top pound-for-pound contenders, has revealed occasional vulnerabilities, as evidenced in his recent bouts against Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Leo Santa Cruz. These lapses offer Martin a credible basis to entertain the notion of defeating him. Martin said, "I am just ready to go out there and shock the world." On the other hand, Gervonta Davis sent shockwaves airwaves through the boxing world by releasing exclusive sparring footage featuring his session with Frank Martin. The clip ignited fervent discussions among boxing enthusiasts. During a recent face-off, tensions peaked as Davis swiftly brushed aside Martin's outstretched hand, prompting security to intervene and prevent any escalation between the two fighters. Davis observed that Frank was quite the chatterbox, seemingly eager to showcase his frontrunner status. He pointed out the forthcoming scenario, suggesting it would be a game-changer for Frank with no one to back him up. Expressing frustration, Davis lamented the mounting tension, reserving his ire specifically for Frank, albeit regretting the necessity of doing so.
You know, a lot of talk. He's trying to show that he's a front runner. He put on for the people that he come with, because he think they thugs and shit like that. But I'm telling you,
that's all you do is talk.
It's a different beast in front of him. It's a different beast in front of him. Nobody that's walking with him, holding him hand in hand, is not gonna be able to save him June the 15th. I'm telling you, and it's a lot of shit built up. It's a lot built up, and I'm gonna take it out on him. Sorry that it's gonna be him. I'm telling you. I promise you. I see y'all during the 15th.
The atmosphere crackled with intensity as Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis locked horns at a recent media event, their verbal sparring igniting the room. Martin, fueled by his gritty resolve, asserted his readiness to conquer the ring, highlighting his journey through trials and tribulations as he strives to carve his name in boxing history.
I've been working for it, you know. I've been an underdog in this, and since I started.
This y'all boy.
From the beginning.
The ones y'all roll with.
You know, so.
This y'all boy.
Like,
don't even
now,
talk
you know,
like he mean it.
This is like, you see, you gotta talk.
You don't talk like he mean it.
You doing all that tweeting. You doing all that tweeting. Let me talk.
That's what I do when I'm in camp.
Let me talk.
I tweet.
Let me talk.
There ain't nothing else to do.
Didn't you say you don't do all that talking?
I'd rather tweet than be outside.
Didn't you say you don't do all that talking? Huh? All right, then. Didn't you say you don't do all that talking?
You'll see. I promise you will see.
And y'all know I don't do all that talking.
And the people that's rolling with you, they gonna see.
Y'all know I don't do all that talking.
That guy right there,
hey,
he who he say he is.
Y'all know I don't do all that talking.
I'm telling you. Look at him.
Everybody
look at his eyes.
Look
and
at
y'all,
him.
the ones that roll with him, look at his eyes. Look how he
Look at him.
He's not that.
In typical Davis fashion, he wasted no time jumping into the fray, firmly establishing his presence in the dialogue. Dismissing Martin's assertions with a wave of his hand, Davis insinuated that Martin hadn't encountered anyone of his skill level yet. With unwavering confidence, he declared his plans to outclass Martin in the ring, showcasing the trademark bravado of a champion who's never tasted defeat. Tensions escalated as Davis directed his focus towards Martin's upbringing, insinuating a stark contrast in their respective backgrounds. Davis's words edged towards the personal realm, veering into derogatory remarks about Martin's private life, notably honing in on his partner.
It's 2 dogs.
He's from the suburbs.
It's 2 dogs.
From the suburbs.
I ain't from no motherfucking
me and him
suburbs.
don't got nothing in common.
You don't know me. What you talking about?
But the little female he got.
That's the problem.
But that little female he got, well, she probably around here somewhere. I'll catch up with her.
Martin, unfazed by Davis's attempts to provoke him, persisted in asserting his stance during the dialogue, steadfastly refusing to yield in the verbal joust. The atmosphere crackled with tension as they exchanged barbs, neither willing to cede an inch in the battle of words. Davis dramatically whipped out his smartphone, eager to showcase to Martin a montage of their past sparring duels, wielding it as undeniable proof of his dominance within the ring. Their verbal jousting persisted for minutes on end, each fighter fervently defending their honor and asserting their right to triumph in any forthcoming bout. In the end, as the press conference drew to a close, the tension lingered thick in the air even as Martin and Davis went their separate ways. Despite their outward civility, the underlying hostility between them remained palpable. Yet Frank Martin, undeterred by the past encounters, exuded confidence in his ability to surpass Davis. While acknowledging their previous sparring bouts, where Davis appeared to have the upper hand, Martin brushed them aside as inconsequential skirmishes, citing the variability inherent in training sessions. The true extent of Martin's struggle against the formidable tank remained shrouded shrouded in ambiguity, leaving lingering doubts about his readiness for the impending showdown. During his conversation with Fight Hub TV, Frank Martin radiated assurance as he delved into his forthcoming clash with Gervonta. Martin kicked off by underlining his psychological groundwork for the bout, asserting his conviction that triumph is a foregone conclusion in his psyche. He underscored his methodical scrutiny of Davis's combat technique, crafting a strategy honed to capitalize on his adversary's vulnerabilities.
Mentally, I feel like the fight won. Yeah, I feel like the fight won mentally already, just cause like I'm doing everything that I need to do, you know, breaking him down, studying him. The game plan is crazy, you know. So it's a lot of them guys he get in there with is not like me, you know. They're not like me. So the game plan that we got, man, is we go in there and capitalize off of the game plan. I think it'll be a crazy night.
Martin's self-assurance sprouted from his conviction in owning a distinct repertoire of talents that distinguish him from all those who have faced Davis before. He recognized Davis's imposing power, but underlined that simply banking on raw strength wouldn't cut it against such a seasoned opponent. Martin emphasized the significance of finesse and tactics in boxing, highlighting his plan to exploit Davis's defensive weaknesses as the key to clinching triumph. Martin's strategic prowess hinges on his adeptness at outwitting Davis and exploiting his adversary's vulnerabilities. He astutely observes that Davis has frequently found himself in tightly contested bouts, sometimes even trailing before clinching victory with a single decisive strike. Martin's plan is to break this cycle by implementing a calculated approach that enables him to distance himself from Davis and establish a definitive edge.
I think y'all gonna see a pull away. Yeah, y'all gonna see a pull away. You know, I mean, he always getting beat by guys. When he fighting his last 5 fights, it's either real close or he getting beat by a guy and then boom, he land that big shot. You know, but a lot of them guys is.
With his emphasis on boxing finesse and tactical maneuvers, Martin is convinced he holds the winning strategy against Davis. His confidence radiates as he anticipates flawlessly executing his plan and claiming victory on fight night. As excitement mounts for the impending showdown, fans are on edge, eager to witness whether Martin's assurance will indeed lead to a remarkable triumph inside the ring. Meanwhile, Devin Haney interjected in to offer his viewpoint on Martin's choice to confront Davis. Haney said, "I think that Tank beats him. I mean, we haven't seen Frank Martin at the highest level, the elite level. Not saying that he isn't elite, but we just haven't seen him. Do I think he's going to go in there and lay down? No. I think he is going to go in there to get his respect, and he's going to fight back." Martin has faced off with veterans such as Ryan Kielczewski, Romero Duno, and Jackson Marinas in the ring. As a result, Devin Haney doubts whether Martin's relatively limited experience has adequately primed him to take on the top-tier skill demonstrated by Gervonta Davis, and provided the resume Tank has built over the years. Haney said, "But I just think that Tank has the experience, has his skills, and will be victorious. But will it be easy? I can't say, but do I think that Frank Martin is going to go in there and show that he is a contender? Yes." Devin Haney believes that Gervonta Davis is a better fighter than Martin. Although Frank has stated that, Davis wasn't the best puncher he faced in the ring. It's interesting to note that Frank helped Davis prepare for the fight with Leo Santa Cruz before the contest as a training partner. After a good experience with Davis, on being asked if Davis had the most powerful punches, Martin had replied, "Nah, it's a Mexican boxer I sparred with. His name is Pablo." Ryan Garcia, meanwhile, offered his opinions on the Davis versus Martin bout. One of the reporters asked, "Have you sparred with Frank Martin?" Garcia replied, "No." The reporter continued, drawing attention to an odd dynamic. Although they had previously trained together, under Derek James's guidance, their connection became more nuanced when they eventually squared off in the ring. Given that Garcia has trained with Martin and sparred with Gervonta Davis, the interviewer then asked him who he would want to face Martin. In response, King Rai stated, "I'm going to go with Frank because I'm going to be there every step of the way, and put him in a game like this is what he likes to do. This is what he will do, bo boom." However, we now know he has changed his stance. Additionally, in the aftermath of his triumph against Devin, Ryan Garcia seized the opportunity to address the media, disclosing his prediction for the imminent clash between Davis and Martin. Expressing his thoughts on the matter, Garcia conveyed skepticism regarding Tank's chances against Frank Martin. Furthermore, he speculated that even in the event of Tank emerging victorious, a showdown with him seemed unlikely, as Garcia was in the process of transitioning to a higher weight class.
Okay, I don't think Tank's gonna beat Frank Martin, but if he did, he wouldn't fight me because I'm moving up. I'm not doing 140, I'm going 147. I can't make 140. I never even technically fought at 140. I fought every time at 143. My body can't literally go lower than 143. It's impossible.
Moreover, Garcia definitively dismissed any chance of a rematch with Davis in the 140-pound division. Assertively, he declared his intention to steer clear of that weight class, emphasizing his determination to vie in the welterweight category. For his forthcoming bouts, he elucidated his stance, affirming his preference for competing at 147 pounds. Oscar De La Hoya chimed in with his perspective on the matter as well.
The only way he's gonna fight Tank Davis, it's a catch weight, okay? At 45, 44, just the way they did it to him. Yep. Now he's the man. Now he's the face of boxing.
Meanwhile, promoter Eddie Hearn exudes confidence as he asserts that Gervonta Davis will easily triumph over Frank Martin. Hearn has enticed Davis with a lucrative offer to face Conor Benn, dangling the prospect of a substantial $25 million payday. However, it remains unclear if Davis will entertain such an offer when facing Martin, raising doubts about his willingness to accept Hearn's enticing proposition. Though Matchroom Boxing's Hearn finds the Davis versus Martin matchup intriguing, he remains pragmatic about its pay-per-view prospects. Martin is yet to cement his status as a household name in the boxing realm. Marketing this bout could present difficulties given Martin's current level of fame. Reacting to the news of Gervonta Davis fighting Frank Martin, Eddie Hearn told Fight Hype, "It's all right. It's an easy fight for Tank. Frank Martin is a good little fighter. I don't think it's going to do mad numbers, but it's a good fight. It's no secret that Frank Martin eagerly eyes the opportunity to face off against Davis in the ring. Their storied history fuels the anticipation, with their intense sparring sessions marked by fierce clashes as they vie to outdo each other. Martin seems poised to present a formidable challenge to Davis. Yet, for those harboring the belief that he could be the one to achieve what 29 others couldn't, Leonard Ellerbe, CEO of Mayweather Promotions, bluntly suggests that such thoughts may be disconnected from reality. Ellerbe told Sean Zittel of Fight Hype, "Frank Martin can't beat Tank Davis. None of those guys can beat Tank Davis. Frank's a good-ass fighter. He can't beat Tank, though." Ellerbe has experienced this song and dance a great deal. He has endured the boasts of former lightweight contenders such as Ryan Garcia, who exuded confidence and swagger, only to see them falter when it mattered most in the ring. During an additional interview, Leonard Ellerbe showered Frank Martin with praise, practically formally appointing him as Gervonta Tank Davis' next challenger. Ellerbe's expression quickly changed when asked about the contest. He stepped back, looking as uneasy as if he were being questioned by a grand inquisitor from the 15th century.
Pitbull's style, he fights one way. He fights one way. He's very aggressive. And Rolly and his trainer have been working on ways to counter that kind of stuff. And he's not going to just continually run up in there on Rolly.
As he basks in Martin's profuse praise, Ellerbe regretfully acknowledges that he is clearly not better than Tank. Martin is unlikely to defeat Tank or any other top 10 great competitor based on his razor-thin victory over marginal contender Haratunian.
I'm not going to comment on none of that because, again, the focus is kind of what the focus is. And when that time comes, Tank will let you guys know.
Ellerbe commended Frank Martin's prowess in the ring, underscoring his undeniable talent. Responding to critiques of Martin's recent bout with Artem Haratunian, Ellerbe firmly supported Martin, rejecting any notion of his inadequacy as a fighter. He emphasized the inherent skill of all fighters involved and urged for mutual respect within the sport.
Martin's a good fighter. Yeah. He's a very good fighter. And some of the things I've been hearing lately just about him, from just browsing it, it's like people want to make excuses now. They want to make excuses.
For who?
They want to make excuses to talk about this fighter ain't that good, and I don't want to hear none of that. All these fighters are good.
Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.